The people of Paiporta, Spain, never stood a chance. How could they? It didn't even rain there. Who would have anticipated flash flooding? But a wall of water washed over the town, decimating infrastructure, filling streets with debris, coating everything in thick mud. In what was the deadliest flood-related disaster Spain has seen in decades, more than 200 killed, Paiporta was dubbed Ground Zero. But how could that be when the worst of the country's rainfall was dozens of kilometers away? You see this canal here, runs right up the middle of my screen. So this splits Paiporta in two. Half the town is on one side, the other half of the town is over there. A week ago, this was all completely empty until, very suddenly, it filled up with rushing water. Now, that water didn't come from above because I've looked at the historical weather data. There was almost no rain here. All that water came from the west because there was rain in Chiva, upstream, more than 20 kilometers away. You know how much rain they got? 20 inches in about 8 hours. To put that in perspective, that's how much rain they normally get in a whole year. But let's zoom the map out a bit more and show you elevation. So the redder the area, the higher up it is. You're getting into mountains. But the bluer it gets, you're moving down to sea level. All that water flowed from west to east, racing downstream, pulled by gravity, measuring at its peak at more than 2 million liters of water per second. That's freight train level force. And as it approached Paiporta, it barreled through Picaña, hitting with unimaginable power. This video was posted online by Valencia's Meteorological Association, showing the exact moment a bridge is ripped from the ground and sent flowing down that very same canal that I showed you just a moment ago on the laptop. Apparently, it went from dry ground to raging torrent of water in just minutes. Rescue teams waded through underground parking garages that had become underwater death traps. And a local schoolteacher described the aftermath to the Associated Press as a battlefield without bombs. At least 60 people died in Paiporta alone. And again, all without a drop of rain falling there. If rescue services were overwhelmed, it was at least in part because of how unprepared people in this Valencia region were.
Regional officials are being criticized for waiting too long to warn people of the dangers.
Many Spaniards are furious at a lack of information.
When the official alarm went off, we immediately went upstairs. 5 minutes later, the water was up to our bellies.
For days, Spain's National Meteorological Agency had been issuing weather warnings, heavy rains incoming, most likely on October 29th. And that morning, it raised the alert level in Valencia to red. 7:36 a.m. local time, nivel max rojo. Within hours, Spain's militarized national police was in the air, pinpointing danger, carrying out rescue operations. But as that was happening, the regional president, Carlos Masson, was carrying on with a scheduled series of public appearances, posing for photographs, giving presentations, speaking with various groups, even downplaying the storm. According to the forecast, he would say at one event, it is expected that around 6 p.m. its intensity will decrease. Fortunately, Politico reports, he added, the storm had so far passed without any material damage, without any hydrological alert, and everyone is very vigilant. According to several reports, he would soon after delete a social media post that contained footage of him saying those words, because by 5 p.m. that same day, the government would finally convene a special coordination unit. Emergency services were already being swamped by urgent, desperate calls for rescue. And it wasn't until several hours after that, at 8:15 p.m., when people's homes were already under several feet of water, when commuters were trapped in their vehicles as they were literally swept away, people's cell phones finally started buzzing. A public alert telling people to stay indoors. too late.
The muddy water rushing through the streets, cars piled up like toys.
People have been lifted to safety from houses.
A harrowing rescue as firefighters hoist up a baby from floodwaters.
This weekend, Spain's rage was made real. The country's king and queen visited Paiporta, along with the country's prime minister, Pedro Sanchez. But people were too angry to receive them kindly. You can see royal bodyguards trying to shield King Felipe with umbrellas as infuriated flood victims hurled trash, even the very mud on the ground. You can see the king's jacket splattered brown, and the crowd chanting, "Asesino." That means murderer. They wanted to know, why was nothing done to prevent this? The government knew and didn't act. And why are you here 4 days late? Now, I want to be fair here. I'm not sure that people were actually angry at the king himself. To his credit, he stayed with the crowd, even after being pelted and insulted by them. According to local media, they were there for more than an hour, and the royal family posted videos to social media as if to underline that point. No, it was the Prime Minister, Pedro Sanchez, who was, according to Spanish broadcaster RTVE, evacuated from that scene shortly after he arrived, leaving the King and Queen to handle the crowd. As citizens wonder why warnings were so sparse and why help has felt so slow to come, the Spanish government has ordered the country's largest peacetime military deployment. More than 10,000 soldiers and police drafted and deployed to help deal with the flood's aftermath. This woman had to be rescued by air through waters that were at times shoulder high. She survived the flood with her dog, and CBS reported, according to the person who took the video, she may have had her cats in her bags.
Allá hay otro. Frente tuya, Villa.
Spanish rescue crews have had to literally swim through underground parking lots, pumping out water, looking for survivors, but too often finding death instead. Countless victims have told journalists on the ground, "We feel abandoned." But there are thousands of regular people who have answered the call, armed with little more than a broom and a bit of muscle. A museum building in the heart of Valencia has turned into a nerve center for an impossible cleanup operation. Volunteers walked and lined up to receive whatever supplies were available: buckets, mops, food, water, before boarding buses and heading to the worst hit areas. It's reported 15,000 people showed up in a single morning.
We have no resources. Everything we have is thanks to the volunteers that are helping.
Unfortunately, for too many people caught in the disaster zone, there's almost nothing to save. The waters have receded, but everything's destroyed, and the recovery will take weeks, if not months. For possibly much longer than that, the political class will have to answer for what happened, how an entire town could be caught so off guard. But even those politicians admit there's time for that. Right now, there's work to do.